That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Comic Reviews. I have just a huge stack of books this week and a trade, so we're going to get into it in just 1 second, but announcements first. And you should stay tuned for the announcements. You shouldn't just skip to the books you want to skip to. What are you doing? Don't go to the description and start skipping to the books. I'm telling you there are announcements. Come on now. So difficult. Anyway, there will be a live show next Monday, this coming Monday. That is Monday, the look at the calendar like professional. Monday, October the 3rd, there will be a live show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there. There's a link in the description to the announcement video. Leave your questions there. It will be live. I will take live questions, but I'm answering the questions left on that video first. Limit 3 questions per person, and you can still ask questions in the live show. But I will be answering those questions first, and that hasn't gotten enough comments yet. So what are you doing watching this? Why aren't you leaving questions on the live Q&A? What's wrong with you? Come on now. You can ask me questions about comic books there. Come on, don't. No comic reviews until you leave a comment. I'll wait. Shit. Videos don't work that way. I, in fact, just mentioned that you could skip to the books you wanted to read. Hear me talk about. Oh, this is a dilemma. Oh well. Anyway, another fan film review will go up tomorrow. That'll be on Joker Rising, the 2013 fan film. And then on Sunday, Geeky Gentleman will be doing the first installment this year of Horror Month, where we talk about the horror film The Brood. So I hope you check all of that stuff out. But more than anything, I hope you check out the live Q&A announcement and you leave comments below. That's what I really, really want. That's what I want. That's what I really, really want. I'm telling you what I want, what I really, really, really want. So I've told you what I want, what I really, really, really want. And what I want, what I really, really want is not to zigga zigga ah, because that's not even a thing. But I want you to leave comments on the live Q&A video. No? No points? Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the very first book that I'm going to be talking about is the last thing I read, which is Wonder Woman #7. This continues the Lies story arc. And yeah, I say it every time. That's a stupid way to release a book with 2 arcs running simultaneously. Greg Rucka announced something on Twitter today, or had an interview today, and it's all over Twitter. I'm not going to mention it because it's not happened in the book yet, but you can go look that up if you want to. News that I'm very excited about. But if you don't want spoilers for the book itself, don't look it up. I'm not going to give them here. I wish I could have seen it happen in the book, but unfortunately that's not the case. And in any case, the art continues to be very brilliant. I still think Wonder Woman is a bit different page to page, or panel to panel even, and that bothers me, but it's not like so different that it's distracting. It's just something I've noticed. I like pages where they make the panels part of the environment. I always think that's a really cool way to do things, and that's what's going on here. The animal is eating. I just think that's a really cool way to do things, where the panels are all part of the environment. So we're in this jungle setting, and we're getting these various roots and vines and stuff as the panels. I thought that was really neat, especially with this whole jungle god stuff. That's really cool. And we're getting hints as to how Barbara Ann became the cheetah, and that's really clever. And just a lot of really cool stuff happened in this. There's some cool action. There's some neat character stuff. I really like this issue quite a bit. I will say that nothing this week is really, really impressive me. I'm not having a, wow, that was fantastic. There's one issue where I think it is still the best issue of the week. But nothing about the books that I read this week, no one thing definitely stood out as amazing. You should be picking this up. Why the fuck aren't you picking this up? A lot of it was just, yeah, story's continuing. Or, yeah, this is a thing that happened, so we'll see how it goes as we continue on. But otherwise, I thought this was a pretty good issue. I enjoyed it. The art is seriously just so fascinatingly brilliant. It looks really, really good. Very clever way of defeating the villain here, that even though there was violence and, fighting in this book, it wasn't violence and fighting that won. I thought that was really cool. And just the opening of this was great. You got women in cages being liberated by Wonder Woman. It's a great opening to a comic book, especially a Wonder Woman comic book. Yeah, I really like it. It's a good series. Still annoyed with it, but it's a good series. Not a ton to say on it, though. I will be taking drinks periodically today because I got a lot of books to talk about, and my throat's already sore as is, so I apologize. Not very professional of me. Anyway, moving on to Steve Rogers' Captain America number 5. And Nick Spencer's Captain America books continue to be awesome. This issue, just okay, though. Really, we're just moving things along, continuing to set things up. That's all I can say about a lot of the stuff that's going on this week. This issue I had more problems with because everything that's going on in it is tied to Civil War II. Not in necessarily the way you'd think, though. But Cap being a double agent right now is obviously a problem when you have I'm not even going to call him an Inhuman, he's a fucking mutant. When you have a mutant who can see the future, and predict, heinous actions, as it were. And so you have Cap dealing with that and trying to remain hidden, and so everything that's going on this week is just surrounding that whole thing. And then there's this that happens at the... Spoilers. There's this that happens at the end, which I assume has something to do with Civil War II. I don't really know, though. I'm still not going to pick up Civil War II. It gives me no desire to pick up Civil War II. It just makes me want Nick Spencer to get back to writing Captain America and ignore the damn event. That's just more generally a complaint about events in, as a thing, because they're objectively annoying. And they interrupt the books you're reading, and that's a problem. And this is definitely getting into the interrupting territory. But fundamentally, we are seeing Steve be a double agent. And that's what's working about this, is it's fascinating to see that. But I think there'd be ways to do it where it doesn't have to pile onto this whole event thing. And then we're getting more flashback stuff, which is just, I don't know what's happening with it yet, but we'll see how it goes. Oddly, the least political this book has been. And we're only in 5 issues. So, you got that going for you. Not a ton to say about it, unfortunately. Anything about the art? I noticed some of it. You can kind of see the sketchiness, particularly in the shading on Steve in that panel. You can see the lines, but it's whatever. It's not a big deal. Not in love with the art. Nothing bad about it, though. It's just kind of present. Meh. Just an okay issue. This, however, Captain America Sam Wilson, issue number 13, is great. It is, without a doubt, the best book that's come out this week. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm trying not to just give the speeches in these books, but that's what makes them so damn good, are the speeches. So you have Sam fighting a U.S. agent, and it's just a shitstorm, and he's getting his ass handed to him, and yada, yada, yada. Then Sam turns the battle around and wins, and, gives a speech and walks off. And then he goes to try to talk to Rage, but Rage gives him a speech about how he's not doing enough, how he's just giving speeches, how he's not helping. And I did like this little exchange of dialogue as Sam starts to find a way, or starts to fly away. Falcon comes up to him and goes, "Hey, you want me to get him down from there?" "No, he's got all the answers. Let him figure it out himself." I really like that. That was clever. And then Sam even goes, "A little petty, I know, but it's been a long day of people telling me how terrible I am, and me feeling helpless to do anything that makes a difference." And then he volunteers for surgery that allows him to obtain essentially images of what birds see, because Sam has that whole psychic connection with birds. Comic books are weird. Digital images of what birds see. Anyway, he's given himself a surgery that allows him to create digital images of what birds see, and he's going to use this to monitor the AmeriCops and be able to use it as proof to prosecute them, since they're being accused of profiling and excessive violence. And then we get this holy fuck revelation with Steve Rogers showing up at the end. So I'll leave that for you to do. I really like this speech that Rage gives to Sam Wilson, because as much as I've loved this book, I have had a problem with, okay, Sam Wilson's giving these great speeches, and that's fine. It's a great mouthpiece. But we need to see him actually doing something. That's the thing. Superheroes don't have to play by the rules of the real world unless you want them to. So I get that Spencer wants Sam to feel kind of helpless and like he's being pulled in a million directions at once. But I need him to start being proactive about that in a way that's not just words. So you have Rage give this great speech to Sam about how he's not doing enough, how he's just being a symbol and he needs to be more than that. He needs to take action. And so I like that Sam is actively trying to do something. He's doing more than just giving speeches now. He is trying to find that third alternative that will not make everyone happy, but that won't hurt the people that it doesn't need to hurt. So yeah, that's what Sam's up to right now, and he's being put in obviously a very difficult situation. And yeah, I'm just curious to see how it continues on. Definitely the best thing I read this week. Again, though, you can tell because I'm not praising it up and down. Not a ton of great stuff this week. It was it was a very big week for comics, so I guess you're getting in quantity what you didn't quite get in quality. Okay, moving right along to Batman Beyond #1. Feel like we've been here before. Written by Dan Jurgens. I'm not thrilled about that, because he was the guy writing the Tim Drake stuff, and the Tim Drake stuff was not good. But I was enjoying what he was doing with that last arc where he brought Terry McGinnis back. I thought he wrote that last arc well. I'm not sure if this first issue is just good because it has a lot of retread from what I love about Batman Beyond the series, or if it will actively be good with Dan Jurgens writing Terry McGinnis. So in this issue, he does, we get some flashback stuff, and he does go over how Terry McGinnis became Batman, and it is more or less just a summation of the pilot. But now we're getting some more stuff that's like it's a fairly predictable turn once a certain couple events happen in this. What is going to happen? And I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But like there was an episode of Batman Beyond where like a jock or prep boy kind of thing turned out to be a Joker, and like he was trying to cover up his illicit activities. And he's like revealed at the end of this, and we go, oh, so he's going to be the bad guy because you have all these Jokers taking over an area of Gotham, calling it Joker's Town. And they keep talking about the boss. And so we see this Carter guy, and again, it's like, oh, so he's going to be the villain. Which I would have liked more than the obvious turn, but we get the obvious turn. I'm not saying this can't work. This is a very obvious reveal that the Joker is alive and being kept alive. It's a very, very obvious reveal. But that doesn't mean that it cannot work. At the same time, we've already done Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Where the fuck Tim Drake figures in with this continuity anymore, I don't even know. But this can work. We can have Joker in future Gotham. I don't know what he's going to do, because Bruce Wayne is gone. And this is no longer the Hamill Joker. No matter how you slice it, this continuity has now removed itself pretty firmly in a lot of different ways from the DCAU canon. So this is no longer Mark Hamill's Joker. Which means this is comic book Joker, and he has to be obsessed with Batman. But Bruce Wayne is dead in continuity at this point. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. And for the record, I did quite enjoy this first issue. It was a little on the nose, but mainly just to help people who hadn't been reading it catch up. I just don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how he's going to write himself out of this, or how he's going to write the Joker here. Is the Joker going to come back and have a vendetta against Terry? Because I don't know if I could quite see that. Is this Joker going to remember the events of Return of the Joker? Because how the fuck does that make sense? Is this Joker going to be some kind of alternate version? So it's not the Mark Hamill Joker, and it is the true DC Universe comic book Joker. Fuck if I know. I really can't tell you what's going on in this, or where it's going to go. Where I hope it goes is that he realizes Bruce is dead, that he's not helping Terry, and that he just loses interest. I don't need it to go that way to work. That's what I'm going to hope for. We'll see. It does feel really gimmicky. Terry proved himself as Batman a long time ago. He doesn't need to fight Batman's old villains to prove that he's truly Batman. I don't know. I'm on edge, but for the record, I did enjoy this issue. We'll see where I come down on it long term. But for the moment, I did enjoy this issue. Moving right along to Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor, number 5. And I believe this is the conclusion of this series. Yeah, it looks like we're not getting any more Fourth Doctor books. I wonder when Torchwood #2 is coming out. I'm gonna be pissy with my comic book store if they fuck that up too. Right, hold on. Yeah, okay, it says the end. So I'm pretty sure this is the end. This is turning into an ongoing. Sorry. I'm having a hard time here. Anyway, so in this, Medusa is defeated. The gods are aliens. Nothing super clever happened in this after that last issue. The fourth issue, the reveal at the end, it's pretty much just confirmed and all works out here. And that's all you get. Doctor defeats the monster, saves the day, gives the monster a chance, though, and doesn't accept it. It's all time loopy. Sarah Jane is technically over 2,000 years old now because of the events of this story. That's interesting. But yeah. I have a crazy animal. He's distracting. Yeah, it's a pretty, I saw most of this coming by the end of the last issue, but that was still a really good reveal. And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed this arc. This'll collect well. This is one whole story, 5 issues. Everything seems to be wrapped up at the end with a nice bow. You could see this being an episode of Doctor Who quite easily. Yeah, I just enjoyed it. I thought it was a good book. A good series, nice fun run. Far from great, but still enjoyable. Sorry, I don't have much to say about it. It was just, there were some clever things here and there. Use the canon well, set itself up. Very effective. It's a very effective story, I guess I'd call it. If you see this in trade, or if you find all 5 issues, I'd say it's worth getting. Because it was a nice, fun book. Tom Baker was written well. They did capture the Fourth Doctor in this quite well. I thought the Greek monster thing, or the Greek god thing, was pretty clever. Seemed like a really good way to do that, because they just parallel it. The Medusa is a monster who quantum locks things in a similar way to what the Weeping Angels are in order to have a food supply. And the Greek gods were aliens charged with destroying or imprisoning it, but they crashed on Earth and tried their best to hold it in prison throughout their lifetime. One was in stasis or something, but now it's over and the thing was about to escape and yada yada. Yeah, just clever. It's good, effective storytelling. Not a ton to say about it. Anything about the art? I don't like Medusa with legs, just generally speaking. But also, this is an oddly sexy Medusa. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I have a thing for snake women. Who knew? Never would have guessed it. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it for the most part. Nothing much to say about it. Sorry. Underwhelming. Okay. These 2 books I'm going to talk about at once because I asked last week and I was told, yes, I should be picking up all the Bat books for the whole Night of the Monster Men thing. And I'm actually glad I decided to do that. Not so much for the Hugo Strange side of things, because I don't feel like much of anything, actually absolutely nothing, is revealed about Hugo Strange in this. But what was developed further was Gotham Girl. Claire was developed quite well throughout these issues, and I quite enjoyed that. So yeah, I'm glad I picked it up for that reason. Not that it's bad otherwise. There was one moment that I did quite like. Batman's trying to do more to evacuate the city from these giant monsters. And so he has somehow turned every single street lamp in Gotham City into a hologram projector to project Batman and tell people to evacuate. I thought that was really, really cool, a clever idea. And yeah, I really enjoyed that about it. This monster design is interesting as well. Yeah, that was the thing I liked the most. The characters were well written, and the whole way in which this is all coming together worked well. What I like about this event is it is very clearly all being written by one person. Even if I didn't see that on the covers of these books, I would know that just from the fact that I'm reading it. Like it's a crossover event that's taking place over all these different Bat books, but it's not like someone else's story gets interrupted by this crossover. All of the characters involved are involved in this story. It's all going on in their books, and it's all just one continuous story. So I like that about it. Again, that's just good, effective writing using comic books in a way that's not annoying. Just a good book. I liked it. There are little things here and there that I liked about that issue. Anything about this issue? I will say when they collect this, it's going to be a bit jarring because the art style is going to completely change issue to issue, but whatever. Not like that matters. Whatever. What can you do? Orphan and Spoiler had some interesting stuff going on, but the main draw of the Detective Comics issue, which is weird. Okay, like, so the Nightwing book focuses more, I feel, on the characters that are appearing in Detective Comics, whereas the Detective Comics book, I feel, focuses more on Nightwing. So, whatever. I guess they just didn't want to change the scheduling. The monster designs are really fucking bizarre. This is the stuff of nightmares. But yeah. I like the Gotham Girl stuff the most. I just feel the way she's dealing with everything is really interesting, and it's ringing more and more back to the whole thing that's going on in the King book about use your fear to give yourself an opportunity to be brave, and you can see she's really, really struggling with that, and that's really fascinating. I'm just enjoying the hell out of this series right now. God, Batman's good again. You know how long I've waited for Batman to be good again? It's a thing of beauty, people. Yeah. I don't have a ton to say this week, though. Everything's just effective writing is the theme of this week. Everything is effectively written, if maybe a little predictable. Yeah. Sorry. I know I should work on having more to say, but I don't. So I don't. That's it. That's it. Green Lantern Corps, The Dark Side of Green. First story arc. Well told. Don't care, Guy Gardner. Second story arc. Fuck yeah. Guy Gardner involved? Sure, but it's not a Guy Gardner story. Yay. First story arc is about basically the Guardians Black Ops team and them going on a mission, and Guy Gardner's involved, and there's a butterfly girl that gets involved. There's a sexy butterfly. Where's the cover for that? I want to see the cover with the sexy butterfly. That's a sexy butterfly, bitch. Did you ever want to have sex with a butterfly? Because now you do. It's like dropping acid with a butterfly woman. That's what this cover is Guy Gardner dropping acid with a butterfly bitch. Because she's putting this thing on his tongue that gives them the powers of the rings, but not in the same way. What do they call these guys? Damn it. Kund are their servants. What the shit did they call these guys? Dominator. The Dominators. The Dominion. DS9 fans get angry. The Dominion. The Dominion and the Kunds are kind of classic, just empire, evil empire in space that the Guardians are always dealing with. Green Lanterns, Guardians, whatever. They just rule a very big empire in space. And they're always doing fucked up shit. Dark Side of Green, it's whatever. It's well told. It's just Guy Gardner, so you know how many fucks I give? Guy Gardner gets me every so often, but just, God, I get so tired of him. He is obnoxious at times to deal with, and that's just impossible to put up with. So yeah, Guy Gardner being Guy Gardner, doing his thing. And then he gets, Superman 3 kissed at the end and doesn't remember any of it. But Friends in Need, however, even though it does involve Guy Gardner, it's just really good. Because we focus on Soranic Natu, Vath Izamat, focus on Takanatzi. What's his other name? What's his partner's name? Takanatzi and Quand. We focus on them a little bit before they die in this story. We focus on Vath and Izamat. Focus on Green Man a little bit. He's involved in it. Just Kilowog's in this story. Iolande's in this story. You see why I like it? It's just all these Green Lantern Corps members. And Guy Gardner's involved too, but he's not as big a deal in it. Mogo's involved. He's a heavy element in this story. And then one of my favorite Green Lanterns shows up as well, which just made me so damn happy. You have no idea. See if I can find the panel with him, or the page that introduces him at first. Guy Gardner gets accused of murder, so he's very, very secondary to a lot of what's going on in this story. And then you have Soranic Natu and Iolande dealing with the children of the White Lobe. But anyway, so Guy Gardner's on Mogo and accused of murdering fellow Green Lanterns. So they send Vath and Izamat, who are the closest, and they also send Mogo's Sector partner, who is my second favorite Green Lantern after Mogo. And that is Bzzd. You'll notice that Bzzd is a fly, or bee, wasp. Wasp is a good term. And just from the very first time he shows up, Lantern approaching, distance 100 clicks. 100 clicks? We should see him by now, damn it. We do, look. And there's like a bright light, and then all of a sudden, there's a bee just flying in front of them. Greetings, Lantern Vath and Ismont. I am Lantern Bzzd of Appetition. My apologies for the delay. I was across the sector. Space pirates, you know. That's such an awesome introduction! I'm sorry to welcome you to Sector 2261 on such an unpleasant mission. Now let us waste no more time. And then Vath is like, we're tracking one of the most powerful, resourceful lanterns there is on the run for murder, and they send us a gnat. And Bzzd says, scale is only relative, Lantern Vath. After all, you are smaller to Mogo than I am to you, and be assured, my will is just as strong as yours, as is my resolve to bring evil to justice. Bzzd is fucking awesome. I love Bzzd. And then, like, when you actually start seeing Bzzd get active and stuff, it's fantastic. Because they're going after, trying to catch Guy. And so, he, like, just throws a gigantic fucking cage to capture Guy in. And Guy just narrowly avoids it. But, like, the thing is, several hundred times Vath's own size. So that was just brilliant. Oh, man. I love Bzzd. Bzzd is so fucking cool. And then he's able to take down Mogo with his sting. Oh, it's perfect. I love Bzzd. Bzzd is one of the coolest Green Lanterns. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave it running, but I gotta show you. I'm going to have a real pain in the ass getting this back, but... one of the things I love about the Green Lantern movie is we got a lot of Lantern Corps action figures that we'll never get otherwise. And so we got a Bzzd. He's got spider webs on him. Or dust, something like that. Yeah, he's even got... Don't focus on me, focus on that. He's even got the lantern symbol on his back, just like in the comic. I think that is so cool. I loved the Green Lantern action figure line for that. I've considered getting a Rotlop fan, and I might have to break down and buy one off eBay. They're a little more expensive than they were when they were on clearance because the movie didn't do very well. But yeah, from the very first time you see Bzzd, he's got the lantern logo on his thorax, I believe would be the term for it. So yeah, I think Bzzd is a really cool Green Lantern. He's one of my favorites. He just takes the bizarreness of the concept of Green Lantern and runs with it. And Dave Gibbons had a lot of fun writing this book. That's the thing. You can really tell, because Dave Gibbons is focusing more on just the members of the Corps than he is on Guy Gardner. Dave Gibbons is the one writing a Green Lantern Corps book. Other writers are the ones writing Guy Gardner book. I do not love Guy. I do not have much love for Guy Gardner. He really does get on my nerves. He just gets overly. He's just fucking annoying. So now the Friends in Need story is great. It has a fantastic ending. Dave Gibbons, who was the original artist on the Alan Moore story that created Mogo, Dave Gibbons has a ton of fun writing Mogo. He really does just know exactly what he wanted to do with with this character and this universe. Oh, wait a minute. But also has the lantern symbol on his front. Does the action figure get that? No. But you really couldn't expect them to. There's not a lot of room left there. It's okay. It's based off the movie anyway. Now, Dave Gibbons was the artist on the original Alan Moore story where Mogo was introduced. And so in this story we have a fungal spore that is outbreaking on Mogo's surface and causing and basically mind controlling lanterns. And it's yellow. It's caused an outbreak on Mogo's surface, and it was beginning to dig down deep into the core. And they're like, well, what are we going to do about it? And Mogo's like, my friends, Mogo, wondered when we'd hear from you, big boy. Been busy, no time for talk. Now you must leave. It burrows deeper toward my core. It seeks to infect me, too. Isn't Mogo already infected, Lantern Gardener? Keep up, pal. As long as the fungus stayed on the surface, it was no more than a zit to a planet this size. It could do the dirty without Mogo even noticing. But if the spores reach Mogo's core, we need to prevent that. We need to cut deep. No time. Leave now. Mogo talking. Leave? Has it sent you mad already, Mogo? No, not mad. I will deal. You? How? Heads up, troops, and they look up in the air and there's a fucking meteor in the sky. I have moved my orbit into the path of an asteroid. Its impact will destroy the evil. Burn it out forever. Leave now. You heard the big green marble. Let's fly. And so you have... it's just destruction on Mogo, big explosion. And afterward, Mogo's safe, but obviously injured from it. And, Biz is like, I will watch over my sector partner until his wounds are healed. Oh, it's so cute. I love this book. It's so good. Dave Gibbons is great. In Mogo's last lines, we must all be vigilant, like good evil comes in every shape and size. That's so clever. Just, the way they set this book up has been fantastic. We're having so much fun doing it. Dave Gibbons was the perfect guy to go to for that. I really love the second arc of this. First arc, meh. It's well written, I just don't care for Guy Gardner. So if you like Guy Gardner, you'd probably enjoy it. If you like Guy Gardner, you have bad taste. Kidding, mostly. Not really. Yeah. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Dave Gibbons, you're awesome. Other guy that wrote this, Keith Champagne, not so much. I think that's the writer on the first arc, maybe. Hard to tell. Yeah, Keith Champagne wrote the first arc. Oh, and Dave Gibbons did some of the art on this, too. He did the pencils. His style has really evolved since Watchmen. I've never really cared for Watchmen's art or anything. I don't think Dave Gibbons is... at least 80s Dave Gibbons was all that great an artist, but him using computers, yeah. He's really evolved quite well. Man, such a good series. I think you could tell he was having a lot of fun writing this, too. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Alright, everyone. That'll do it for this week's episode of Comic Reviews. I hope you enjoyed. A lot of stuff, but I'm always willing to do more. Please leave comments below about books that are coming out week to week, month to month, that you would like me to be reading, and I promise to try my best to pick up one issue, at least, and if I like it enough, I will add it to my pull list. Or leave comments for trades or graphic novels you'd like to hear me talk about as well. Those are harder to get a hold of because they're not always in print, yada yada. But I'll do my best. I'll keep an eye out for it. We'll see what happens. And please, please, I'm begging you, go leave comments on the live Q&A announcement. Do it! Do it!